Hey, welcome back, everybody. My name is Mr. Reality, and I'm joined with world-renowned psychic medium Liz Cross. Liz, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Ronan, I heard that your class is in high demand now, which I always knew would happen. I always knew that. I always knew you would end up having people banging down the door to get into your class.
They're not
What's
banging down the door yet, but I limited to 15 people every quarter. I didn't host it over the summertime, and so we did have a high demand this time. The class is full. Thanks everybody signing up. It's a 6-week course that teaches you all the stages of remote viewing, and because of that, I decided I need to open it up to more courses that people can download on their own. So the next course, if you're interested, will be happening during the day in January 2024. Wow, 2024, crazy, and I'll talk to you more as soon as I get these websites up about the other classes that I'm offering. But I found the need that people need to know more than just remote viewing. And there's a lot of other things that I can teach. So I'm excited about those new avenues.
excellent? I'm so glad that it's all working out for you, and it will be a treat to hear at the end of the class all of the results. Again, guys, thank you for being here. Please don't forget to support us. We are not monetized on YouTube. Okay, YouTube does not like psychics, does not like remote viewers, does not like anything else, healers, whatever. So they've really cracked down on the monetization. If you want to support us, patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. Don't forget, Ronan has a tip jar down there as well. All right, who
Like
we got
living
here?
in 1995 and 2005, all of a sudden, the news stories are hearkening back to murder days of old with Tupac Shakur and Joran von.
I have him here. Now, believe it or not, I've never done this one. What would you like to know?
Were you guilty of murdering Natalee Holloway in 2005?
Did you kill or harm Natalee Holloway? Yes, he strangled her.
2006. What did they do with the body of Natalee Holloway?
What did you do with the body of Natalee Holloway? They disposed of it.
Go on. How?
How did you dispose of the body? In the water.
And what did they put her inside of?
What did you put her inside of? They put her inside of like a bag, excuse me, and they tied it with lots of rope. They weighted the bag down and they took a boat out. Was it in the middle of the night? Yes, it was nighttime. They took the boat out and they dumped the body.
Why did he strangle her?
Ooh, good question. Why did you strangle her? Because she wasn't compliant.
So
You
let's
mean,
go back a little bit further. What in your life as a child made you deranged and a killer?
engaged in child pornography? And I feel like his dad was too. Now, his dad has passed. I believe his dad has since passed. Most people will remember that his dad was a prominent judge on the island, but he liked kids, as in liked kids that way. Um, so
Oh,
did Natalee?
had there Paul van der Sloot and Anita van der Sloothugen. The names are fun to say, but their actions are horrible and deplorable. What brought him into that lifetime then as a child? What did he have to make amends towards?
Well, anybody who he's telling me has been a victim of sexual abuse, child pornography, molested, raped, you lose a sense of yourself. And the more it occurs, the more you lose yourself. He didn't know how to get away. He was also very manipulated by the money his father made. I feel like his father was very profitable, had a lot of money, had a lot of investments. So, he really was sort of tied to his father and reliant upon his father in that way. His father would point blank tell him, you're nothing without me. So that sort of level of conditioning, uh, you know, you start to absorb that information, he says, and you start to believe that information. And you also believe that he's telling me, he also believed that women were objects that you could be sexual with. So he met Natalee Holloway. He talked her down to go to the beach and hang out. And he tried to have sex with her. She started pushing him off of her, okay, saying no, she didn't really want to engage in this, uh, sexual behavior. And that's when he slammed her head back. I'm looking at the scenes, he's telling it to me, and he strangled her. He strangled her. The rejection is something that was very hard for him to take. Now, let me ask this question. Have you ever raped anybody before? Yes, loads of times. So what made you cross the line and kill her? Because she was American. What does that mean? She would call the police. So maybe locally he could get away with it because of who his father was. So let me ask that. Was it because locally you could get away with it because who your dad was? Yes, his dad was very influential, very powerful there. But because this girl was an American, he knew that power didn't matter, that he would have the authorities all over him. And not only would he have the authorities all over him, but all over the family. This would turn his father's legacy inside out. It would question, how he is the way he is. And then all this big exposure would come out. Now, there was, Ronan, I don't know if you saw the article. Somebody actually emailed me saying that Joran Sloot somehow let it slip that he and his father were the ones that hid the body. Did you see that?
No, I don't follow horror news.
No, no, you don't. I know you don't. And so let's ask him, was it your father that helped you hide the body? Yes.
Let's ask Natalee Holloway if she had any ties with Joran Sloot or his father in other lives, other lifetimes, other incarnations.
Yes, they have. Okay, so in previous lifetimes, Natalee Holloway and Joran Sloot were together, but he always was overbearing, overpowering. He would abuse her in many ways, and she would run away. She always seemed to get away. In this lifetime, she wasn't able to get away.
Why would you create that lifetime for yourself if you're up there in the spirit world? You're thinking, I'm going to make a great life. How about you murder me next time? Is that part of the soul path?
Yeah, yeah, it is because we have a lot more emotions here on the earth plane than we do in the spirit world. In the spirit world, everything is like joy and love. Isn't this exciting? And the way that we look at things here is very different to the way things are looked at from a spirit world perspective. Okay. I'm not saying what happened was right or wrong. Of course, it was devastating. It's of course it's terrible, and her poor parents and everybody else, and even his mother was put through the ringer. I'm not sure if I know enough about his mother. I've never seen a picture of his mother, but I feel really sorry for Natalee Holloway's family. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, her mother ended up marrying John Benet Ramsey's father.
What?
Yes, yes.
Parents, David Holloway, Beth Holloway. But someone's going to yell at us probably. I don't know. So who knows? I don't know. It could be true. I don't know. Maybe we're making that up. But let's ask Natalee Holloway if she can tell us what she's been doing since she was murdered on the other side.
She's planning her next life. Um, she was glad to leave this lifetime. She says, my job here was done. And I'm like, what was your
What?
job? Yeah, I know. I'm as shocked as you are. And I'm saying, well, what was your job? What was your role? And it was to highlight, sexual abuse when people are going to these vacation spots, holiday destinations, that bad things happen. And we're not aware of it. We think of going on vacation, she's telling me, is this peaceful paradise, and these places are not paradise.
They're pretty, but yes, they are dangerous there, I would say.
A lot of the Caribbean is dangerous, right? I don't know how much our listeners know about the Caribbean. It's extremely dangerous in a lot of places. So for those of us, like, I lived in the Caribbean for a while, right? So for a lot of people, when they go to visit the Caribbean, they stay locked in these compounds. Were you locked? And I feel like she was pretty much like confined to the tourist area. But you see, these guys, Joran and his friends, they like to prey on the tourists. They like the tourists. The tourists have money. What I'm getting is they were looking for a way off the island. They were interested in gaining American citizenship. Listen, you don't need to be psychic to know that, right? Anybody who has traveled to these islands, the people, when they're absolutely desperate, and it's not just about the islands around the world, they will say and do anything to get that green card. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
I think a lot of people are gullible too. Was Natalee Holloway really gullible in her lifetime to fall for this stinky story?
Um, no, she wasn't gullible, but she had way too much to drink. And actually, what she's telling me is he drugged her drink.
She
That's bad.
drugged.
Hmm?
What was her transition like after she was murdered?
It was very peaceful. It was, she was practically passed out because of this drug in her drink. It had a very bad effect on her. In fact, she didn't feel very well, which is why I need fresh air. Oh, I'll help you. Um, he drugged her drink. Was there? I feel like another one of the guys was there too. Um, so he wasn't the only one that was with her. There was another male there as well.
And did they, I don't want to know, but at what point does Joran van der Sloot say, oh no, I've made a mistake? Or did he just think my dad will take care of this for me?
Did you ever think that you made a mistake with Natalee Holloway? No, he had no regrets. Okay. Did you think that your dad would take care of this for you? Absolutely. Because the last thing the family needs is this big exposure of corruption. It could get his dad in a lot of trouble.
Well, let's hope that this comes out very soon and that whatever else that they're involved in is brought to the light of day. I would just like to caution the soul of Natalee Holloway. If you're planning another incarnation with Joran van der Sloot, please do not do that.
Yeah, really. And he let's ask him quickly before we go. Who was the other girl he murdered in Peru?
It was a girl named Flores. Let's see, van der Sloot, Flores, Stephany Flores Ramirez.
Stephany Flores
Photo,
Ramirez.
uh,
Okay.
photo of
Did,
her here.
did you the reason I'm asking this question, okay, is this took place in Peru. Not every country's justice system is like a fair justice system that we have in the West. I'm not saying our system is fair by any stretch of the imagination, but we have to follow certain procedures. Other countries, they don't necessarily have to do that. That's why I wanted to ask this question. Did you bludgeon or murder Stephany Flores Ramirez? Yes, but he choked her as well. Did you choke her first? Yeah, he choked her first. So choking is his MO. Will this man ever see the light of day ever again? No, he will never get out of jail. He will die in jail. And will he remain in the US till the end of his life? Yes, he will. So luckily for society, he is not getting out.
Let's just ask Miss Ramirez what brought you to the path of Joran van der Sloot.
What brought you to the classroom of Joran van der Sloot? Well, she was the one that sacrificed her life. Now we're talking about off the 3D level, in order for him to get caught, because getting caught has a lot of life lessons. He would have continued to kill more people if he would not have been caught. So she basically became the sacrifice in order for him to stop the killing, for him to be incarcerated. I feel, how many people, Joran, how many people have you murdered? He's actually murdered 4 women. Okay. He's murdered 4. So those were prior. So Stephany was number 4. Yes, Stephany was number 4. So he had murdered 3 women prior. He was traveling around. He had interactions with prostitutes, and I feel like he murdered a couple of prostitutes.
Well,
So,
it's a shame that he's going to have to live his life in prison because there should be better retribution for those kind of actions here on the earth plane.
oh, meaning that life in prison isn't good enough
Too good
punishment.
for him. Yeah, breathing the same air that we breathe. Too good for him. But that's my own personal opinion, and I'm sure other people differ. And I try and keep that out of the meetings that we have. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Stephany Flores Ramirez, Natalee Holloway, and Liz Cross, and all of you out there listening. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.